Welcome into Oilers Nation Radio, a Game 6 edition of the program. It is June 17th. The sun is shining in Edmonton, but the nerves are high. Tyler, Rick, Dan, Liam. We'll do our delicious debate in a second. But Rick,
yep,
you're the diehard of all diehards.
Yep.
When you woke up this morning and
yep.
okay, it's Game 6. What's the first thought in your head?
So I have to actively fight the worst case scenario from popping into my head. So I had to quickly just pop onto some social media and look to be spoon fed a little bit of the positivity, just because last year is so fresh in my mind still. So I refused to even think anything in my head. I just said, it's Game 6, it's Game 6, it's Game 6. Jumped on social media, and then you need a little bit of Oiler Nation help there. Find something that puts that ultimate belief in my head over the fear of the obvious. 23 points in 14 games.
So a little worried.
A little worried, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Worried, Dan?
Yeah.
Not, admittedly, I think I was probably more worried the morning of Game 4 than I was for...
Down, like being down 2-1 scared you more than being down 3-2?
Because the outcome of that game could be down 3-1, and I felt like that was...
I'd rather be down 3-1 than 4-2.
Yes, that's
fair.
true.
Yeah, I get what you're saying though. Yeah. Like being down 3-1 would have felt like such an insurmountable. Yes. Like you don't do that 2 years in a row kind of thing.
It felt like last year.
Yeah,
but being different. But
being down 3-2, it's like they can win 2 games.
I was of the mentality though that like, man, if there was a way, and obviously this is not how the world works, but if there was a way that we could guarantee that we would lose Game 6, but I could win Game 5 and have 2 days of being up in the Stanley Cup Finals again, I would have done that in a heartbeat. But,
yep. But if there's a world where again Genie bursts through the door and is like, all right, you're winning Game 6, okay, would you like to reverse the outcomes where you would have won Game 5 but lost Game 6? You take that 100% because the peace of mind the last few days.
As someone who works in the bar industry, I'm going to say no, and this is why. Because after a loss on Saturday, that was the game, right?
Yep.
I'm still going to get a lot of business after that loss. If we lose tonight. Like if we were up 3-2 and we lose tonight, you're not going to get as much business.
You think the streets are going to be buzzing when they win tonight?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bringing them back.
People will be lining up to get in for Friday.
Liam, what was your first instinct when you woke up this morning?
About the game?
Yep.
I was waiting for the Blake Bortles answer.
I was going to say I blew my nose the first thing I did when I woke up this morning. Other than that, though, I don't know. I feel very confident in this team that they're going to be able to go and do it. So I just didn't think about it until the show started. Now here we are. I don't know. I don't really get nervous until the game starts, and then all of a sudden the Oilers find themselves in the 3-0 hole, and how are they going to get out of it?
And then that's the start of the hockey game.
All right, let's get into a delicious debate. It's brought to you by our friends at Oodle Noodle. A delicious reason to celebrate game night with Oodle Noodle. The game day promo, 2 signature boxes and 2 spring rolls for just $29.97. This offer is valid in store and on oodlenoodle.ca. You can do takeout as well. Again, 2 signature boxes, 2 spring rolls. That is quite the way for you and one other person to really get set for game day. 6 o'clock puck drop. You don't have time to be cooking. You don't want to deal with dishes. Let Oodle Noodle handle that, and you get to focus on being a fan. oodlenoodle.ca. Who's got a delicious debate?
I can do it.
There you go. It was either me or you.
Well, let's toss this one up. It's quite simple, really. What do you need to see from the Oilers tonight to extend the series to a Game 7? Rick?
I mean, the easy answer is just more goals than the other team.
Yeah.
Right? But we'll try a little bit harder than that.
Debate over.
You need to get back to the style of play when we were playing Dallas and Vegas, and we've kind of gotten away from the heavy forecheck. Like I know Hyman's not in the lineup anymore, and he had about 1,014,000 hits in the first 3 rounds. But I don't feel like we're going out there and playing that body in the offensive zone and making it difficult for Florida to move the puck out. And we're not making it difficult on their defensemen's lives for the 60 minutes we're out there. It's almost like we're playing reactionary hockey. Like you need to go out there and you need to grab the bull by the horns and kind of lead and dictate how the game's going to go. When we just like react to what Florida's doing, we get caught behind. Yeah. When we're moving the puck, you know, you're a step behind. All of a sudden, every time we get the puck, it's the end of a shift for us. So it's a dump, line change, but now they get the puck again. We need to grab the bull by the horns. We need to lead this game. We need
proactive,
to go out there.
Not reactive.
Yes, exactly. Right. And just go out there and you have nothing to lose tonight. Go out there, and every time someone gets the puck, hit them. Like, remember that Kane hit on an Ekblad behind the net in the first game or second game, whatever the hell it was?
Ekblad.
That did something.
Yeah. And
we haven't done that in the last couple of games, and I'd like to see them get back to it.
For me, it's just one element of this team has to decide that it's going to be the hero tonight. Whether that's the depth, whether that's McDavid and or Draisaitl, whether that's the defense or the goalie. I'm not sure who it is. It will kind of the play of the team. And then, like we said, whether they have to respond or if they're getting out on top will kind of dictate it from there. But I really just think that one element of this team has to rise up and do something. And then the rest of the team and the fans can respond in Game 7.
Yeah. I mean, for me, if I'm looking for a key or anything like that, you need to be more opportunistic. You look at last game, 3 chances early on, even in the comeback win in Game 4, like it took a lot of looks for them to finally get through and start scoring on Sergei Bobrovsky. Yep. Skinner breakaway, Bouchard breakaway, game's tied, McDavid breakaway through everybody that he doesn't score on. Like tonight, when you get a look early on, this isn't the time to be missing or going, oh, shucks, I hit the post.
Where are you shooting on him?
High.
I don't feel like they even tried to hit the crossbar last game.
Oh, high.
Like all practice today would have been bar down, bar down, bar down, bar down. All damn practice. That nurse shot.
Oh my God.
Like there
wasn't even like that much traffic there. They just if you get Bobrovsky moving or if you get someone in front of his eyes, not both, one of them.
Yes.
He shrinks.
Yes. He's a tiny human being outside of his equipment, but shoot high, please. Just under the bar. These guys can do it. We've seen it 1 trillion times.
Yeah. What's the answer to your own delicious debate?
They have to score first. I don't think they can just keep chasing these games. I don't think Florida's built to come back in a game. I think they're built to game leads, stand in their structure, and just close games out.
Like LA was.
LA was, yeah. I don't think they're as bad as LA in the sense of like how badly.
Yeah, no, 100%, just the same style.
Similar, yeah. So they got to find a way to just hold on to a lead for a while. Like obviously Game 1, they had one right away, and then Sam Bennett, scores a controversial goal. Blanchard gets the next one. And then even in Game 4, they get a bit of a lead. And then 6 minutes later, the game's tied. So it just feels like every time the Oilers get some kind of grip on the game, they just give it away immediately.
We had a couple of chances early in Game 5 as well.
They did. But
and then the period went upside down.
Yeah.
Let me throw you another delicious debate V2. Jason Greger today at Oilersnation.com wrote about how the Oilers need something from Connor McDavid tonight. He ended it, and it's a great article. Go check it out, where he talked about other all-time legends and their best performances. He talked about Messier and the third period hat trick in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Final. They go on to beat the Canucks, right? He ended it by saying there are very few players on the planet who will dominate a game and it won't surprise you. McDavid is one, and the Oilers need him to lead them tonight. It is time. We're due. Like, again, the bar's higher for McDavid than it is for anyone else, and that's because he's the best player in the world. There's more pressure on Connor McDavid than there is on anyone else, and that's because he's the best player in the world. Is it fair, though, to say that McDavid's been disappointing in these cup finals, even with the numbers being what they are?
Yes. I just think that, like you said, you're kind of waiting for that big moment, and he's been great. Don't get like he's been up, and he's like, obviously you look at Game 2, was it Ekblad? You put Ekblad in the blender and Barkov, and that was great. But like, gets to a certain point where you're like, okay, man, like,
gotta score.
We need you to be the best player.
Gotta score.
You have to score a goal.
Gotta score.
He has 1 goal so far in the cup final, and that's just it's not enough. And you think back to like obviously Game 6 against Dallas, comes out right away, scores that goal against
beauty around Heiskanen.
Unbelievable. And you need that tonight. I know obviously that game was a bit weird. The Oilers ended up winning, but they outshot 36-10 or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
You don't want that tonight, preferably. It's the other way around, and the Oilers still win. But yeah, you need him to just turn it up a notch.
Yeah, to find another level.
I I don't know if tonight is the night that you need him to be there, but yes, I mean, if he's the element that's going to be the one that gets them to that game 7, then sure. But I think game 7 is the night that
today is a game 7.
I would say tonight I would agree, Dan, that you need him in game 7, but right now there is no game 7.
So this is game 7.
That's fair.
Be it.
Yeah.
And there's no time to wait.
Yeah.
And he's got to start to go. You're right. Connor's got to start shooting high.
I mean, there's video out there. I'm sure there's a booklet out there. There's a caddy with a book who tells you what to do. They just got to do it.
Yep.
They got to do it. And they get the opportunities. They have the speed to get around their forwards. They have the opportunities to get to the high danger areas against their defensemen. You just got to find a way to put the puck in the net.
In each of the first 2 series in these playoffs, Sergei Bobrovsky had at least one game where he was below an .850 save percentage. He did not have one of those games against the Carolina Hurricanes where his worst save percentage in their 5-game series win over the Canes was .870. His worst save percentage so far in this series was .857. That was the comeback victory in game 4. Has Bobrovsky given you, what's your feel on Bobrovsky this year compared to last season in the Stanley Cup Finals? Because I'll be honest, I look and the Oilers did eventually kind of get to Bob in the middle parts of those series. They scored in their 3 wins, 5 goals, 4 goals, and then 3 goals. Do you think we've already seen the Bob stinker in game 4, or is that maybe another reason to be optimistic? Or do you think he's just so good that it doesn't fucking matter?
I think he was actually pretty good in game 4 still.
That save on Perry was insane.
Yeah, and he had a few.
Stop on McDavid on the breakaway again, sorry.
Yeah, I think the team just kind of fell apart in front of him in a way. The Oilers just pushed so much, and that feels like the only time that the Oilers have, in game 1 as well, where they have taken over a period. It's like, we are winning this game, and we're going to do it right now. And they need to find that tonight, because to me, that shows that they have it in them. And I think Bobrovsky's been really good in this series. Don't get me wrong. Probably the favorite to win the Conn Smythe, I would think, if Florida wins the cup.
He's third on the list right now.
Third?
Yeah, Bennett's on away.
Bennett's probably one, isn't he?
And then Marchand.
I just look at it and I just think he's a beatable goalie.
He is a beatable goalie. It's just, I wanted him at the deadline. I know he didn't want to come here, but Brad Marchand has taken it to 2 different levels right now. It's mind-boggling how he can just keep popping the puck in the net. Every time he gets the puck, somehow gets to the back of the net.
That comes back to game breakers being game breakers.
100%.
Bennett and Marchand aren't missing on looks.
Yeah.
Connor and Leon, these guys are missing on looks right now.
Yep.
Well, and BX called it out during the broadcast last game where it was just you could see Brad Marchand wanted plays harder and more than the Edmonton Oilers did. And it was noticeable on the ice. I dislike Brad Marchand to no end, but you got to give him credit there. For Bobrovsky, I mean, he's first of all, he's the last of the dying breed of goalies that are just workhorses, and you don't have to as a fan, I envy them, because it is one of those things that I don't think they have to worry about him having too many bad games.
Well, $10 million. You better hope he can.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. And he's probably the last of the few that are going to be worth that. But I personally don't think that we can count on him faltering more than, like you said, Tyler. I think the Oilers have just been able to get to him, and they have to be better in their own end so that the getting to him is effective enough. It's just, I think the Oilers are still good enough to be able to beat him, but
couple of things have happened since our last episode on the Oilers goaltending front. The team went to Calvin Pickard for a game, and now the team is going back to Stuart Skinner for another game. I guess 2-parter. Did you agree with the decision to go with Pickard? Hindsight maybe changes your opinion of it a bit, but did you agree with it in the moment, Dan? And then do you agree with going back to Stu for game 6?
I didn't, because I thought that we were married to Pickard at that point. Credit to the team for, I guess, changing it up again. I just think that I feel like Skinner wasn't the reason, and I feel like I've been on repeat on this podcast saying it over and over again, that our goalies are not the reason that they're having bad games. They're also, in my opinion, not necessarily the reason they're having good games. It's because this team plays really well in the other end of the ice and keeps it out of their own zone. So I'm okay with the move to go back to Skinner, just because he's the guy that got you here, and there is no more tomorrow if you don't win the hockey games. And the Oilers have shown that they can, in a worst case Ontario where Skinner falls apart in the first period, they are able to come back for Pickard. So at least there's that.
I would agree. The decision not to play him, I think, was interesting, but also too, if it would backfired and Skinner would have been in goal for game 5, I think everyone would have just had the question, and you have no option but to go to Pickett almost in game 6 tonight. So I understand the decision. I think people put too much blame on Skinner for the game 4 loss. I think he was easily their best player in the first period. Everyone else was terrible. I think he's been fine this series. You obviously won a couple more saves, but also too, like we talked about Bobrovsky, like their goals against average was exactly the same going into game 3.
Yeah.
And then the Oilers just were terrible in game 3 and they were bad at the start of game 4. And that's why Stuart Skinner's now is slightly higher.
I disagreed with you on the, like, you're married to Pickard thing. The reason I was good with it in game 5 is because I was like, you know what? Go with Pickard. And if he's truly the hot hand, you're up 3-2 and then you're up 4-2 and this thing's over.
Yeah.
And if Pickard is bad, which I have the team stunk.
Yes.
And Pickard's not the reason they lost. He's a reason they lost though. And it's easy now to just turn back to Stu and do the whole, you're rested now. You always play better coming off the rest. So Stu, here's your net back.
Yeah, I genuinely didn't see this scenario playing it out, but
I had no issues with it. I thought you played the hot hand at the time. I honestly think at this point, we don't have a starter and a backup. You have 2 guys, so 1A and 1B at the time. And going into game 5 or whatever it was, you just play the hot hand and Pickard got you there. So you go ahead. And if that game doesn't work out, I feel very confident putting Stu back in the game, back in the net tonight. But the team needs to be better in front of them. And the team needs to, like we said, to get proactive, because every time they get the puck, it's at the end of a shift. You dump it, you lose the possession, and now the other team's coming back down on you again. You need to get some sustained drives in their end. And last game, we didn't do it.
the only other thing that I was going to throw out there too is that a part that I forgot is that Skinner is now starting in Florida, and I'm not a big fan of that.
You think there's something to being in that building?
No, but I think that the fans are just going to be good fans and get on top of him if things go bad. And that is when it and I don't know, you guys were there and you can speak to it more, but it feels like that building does unite around getting after the goalies.
I don't think that dude, I don't think that affects him.
I think it's the worst rink in the league.
Nice. All right.
You've been there.
Yeah, I really do. I think that game 3, worst sporting event I have ever attended.
Well,
the Oilers stunk and everyone left.
If the Oilers were up 6-1 in a playoff game, fans would never leave.
No,
early.
we've
proven
We've
proven it.
I just think those fans, and this is going to sound rude, and it's supposed to,
Good.
have no idea what's going on half the time.
It's true.
And they all yell Skinner, and I get it, but we asked Dubnik about it too, and he's like, that affects no goal.
I'm pretty sure they were yelling Skinner when Pickard was in the net.
They did.
Yeah, they did. That I agree with.
That tells you everything you need to know about that building and those fans. So that won't get into Stu's head.
No, I don't know. I have this thing with Stu right now where I think nothing phases him. Absolutely nothing.
I really think that Vanacek staring him down at center ice thing is annoying as hell, and I think it does phase him. The fact that Pickard came over and did something about it tells me.
No, that was the second game he did it.
Yeah.
Because the first game, no. That is, if that's going to get in your head, you're not ready for a pro league of anything.
No,
that dude sits there and does the water bottle in the hair, and he's got like 3 kids in front of him all the time trying to get his attention. He always stares like, I don't know where he's going, but it ain't looking at them. So I don't think that got in his head. The team needs to be better in front of him. It's the 5 guys, and this is not on a goaltender, on any of the goaltenders. The team in front of him needs to be better.
What'll tell me if it got in his head is if he goes back to that spot tonight. If he doesn't go back to that area, then yes, Vanacek did something.
Well, he went back to two games in a row, did he not?
Yeah.
Skinner?
Yeah.
But he didn't play. That only happened in game 4.
I thought it happened the game before, and then that's why Pickard did it the next game. That's why Pickard came in the next game.
In game 3.
I'm fairly certain it happened 2 games in a row. That's why Pickard came in the second time.
I don't know if it did or not. I just know that the broadcast was talking about Stolarz doing it the year before, so I'm not sure if that was just something that maybe they told him about and then he tried it. But anyways,
let's keep cruising along. The lineup changes for tonight's hockey game. Kapanen back in, Klingberg back in. Stetcher is out. He obviously had that first game where he had the turnover where he was high sticked after, and he only ended up playing, what was it, 4-18?
Under 5.
Yeah.
In an overtime game.
Last game he played 13:38, so they trusted him a little bit more. He got 15 shifts, but either way, Klingberg comes back in. I don't mind it. It's so similar to the goaltending. Like, I actually didn't even hate Kapanen coming out because I felt like he was starting to wane a little bit in the D zone, and he was maybe losing his juice a little bit. Now both those guys rested, got the view from up top. I'm actually kind of excited to see them back in the lineup now. I think the rest and the regroup and the little shot of like, hey, you weren't good enough, I think that's good for those guys.
we've seen it before. We've seen like a guy like Kapanen has bounced back, right?
Yep.
He comes back right away. This team needs to honestly just sit there and go, at game one of this at the start of the season, if we were told we had to win one road game in order to get a game 7 Stanley Cup at home, we probably all would have signed up for it.
Did you say start of this season?
Yes.
When you're down 2-0 to the LA Kings, what would you have said if someone sat you down and was
Sign
like,
me up right now.
by the way, they make it to game 6?
Yeah. Sign up. Like you can sit there and be down about everything, or you can just look at it and go, we have to win one game on the road in order to get a game 7 for the cup at home. I think the majority of players out there will sign that contract in a half a second. So you've got an opportunity to do something that's really, really cool right now. And this is actually the storybook season that I'd like to think it is. Winning at home, game 7, kind of has to be the way it goes. Wayne Gretzky, his first win at home. Right?
Yeah.
Same thing here. Sidney Crosby back 09 or something like that.
Yep.
They were down 3-2. They came back and won.
He didn't get a point in game 6 or 7.
Who was the hero there? Was
the
it
team
Talbot?
won.
Yeah, Tyler Kennedy scored in game 6 and Talbot scored twice in game 7.
Got it.
I think they won 2-1 because that was the game Fleury made that crazy like shoulder up save on Lidstrom at the buzzer.
Yeah. Like there's a storyline out there to win game 3 or to win game 6 and game 7 and win this all and win it at home. And that just kind of finishes off the Disney movie here. And I think that's where we're at.
I like it. I'm hopeful.
I love that optimism, Rick.
I'm just like, let's drop the puck right now. I am ready to go right
Tyler's just
fucking
vibing
now.
on that right now.
4 hours and 28 minutes till puck drop.
Is that like the 6:22 puck drop?
Yeah.
Or is that okay? Just checking.
4 hours. Wow.
Yeah, 4 hours and 28 minutes until puck drop between the Oilers and Panthers. Liam, Dan, any issue with the lineup changes? Any issue? I mean, Connor and Leon starting apart. I'm sure that won't
Where do you
last
have
for long.
Kaner?
Canes with Dry and Kapanen. You like that?
It's time.
I mean, if there's one guy I'm looking at in the forward group, maybe I guess McDavid aside, who I'm looking at
91.
being like, here's a chance to make good for the rest of the early parts of the series. Evander Kane, you score twice tonight, lay a couple big hits. The perception of yourself changes a lot in this city.
He does have 1 goal in this series, right?
He needs to have 2. And so does Bouchard.
I agree. I think the lineup's fine. I think you probably, I don't know. You're kind of forced to make changes going into game 5, I think. But
What do you think of Arvidsson coming back in? Was he the guy you'd take out? I know there are some people, almost myself included, I maybe wasn't going to get this bowl, but people were like, take Frederick out.
That's where I was actually leaning to. And I love Trent Frederick, but I just feel like we have not seen the Trent Frederick that I was promised or hoped for this whole time. He's been fighting through it. He's been trying. He's been giving an
They had
effort.
a
It's
good
not
game
like
of
he's
game 4,
I
game
thought
3.
game 4 was his best game.
Okay, his game 4. That whole line, right?
Yeah,
That's when Skinner was on it.
I don't think you could have changed that line. I think
They almost scored in overtime.
yeah, he did. He was +1 in that game.
I didn't mind
But we haven't
Arvidsson's
seen
game
enough of
and
that, though.
Pop. Yeah, I guess yeah, and maybe then you put him back in game 7. But yeah, it's I don't know. Like yeah, I definitely think change was needed.
Yeah.
It's you can't put up that kind of an effort in a game 5 and not expect somebody to change.
I also think you want to keep Frederick in because you need the muscle. If something happens, like it's good to have that guy there. You
But even in the game, though, when shit went squirrely, he didn't really show that muscle.
He went and grabbed Bennett. He was
He
the one who
did.
started that whole melee.
He did, but did his
Actually,
gloves
it was-
ever come off?
That's
well, I don't
A
think
lot
you're
of
allowed to.
a lot of stinky gloves.
He broke his stick over Sam Bennett's ribs.
Yeah, I think you're.
Good, then keep going.
I think the problem is, and we saw it. If you like take your gloves off, you can get suspended.
A game. At that point in that
Yeah,
game,
but-
I honestly was yelling at the TV as loud as I could. And I said, sacrifice a player because we do have,
He would.
I
not
think
have been
Skinner
the
could have
one.
come in the next game or
Yeah,
Cap,
he
whoever
did.
was out. We have room for one player to get suspended and bring in an actual NHL quality forward still.
But
That's where I
instead,
wanted it.
Frederick didn't get suspended, came in that game and was on the
Yeah.
ice for the Darnell Nurse goal and played a role in it.
Yeah.
And he hit the post in overtime.
Yeah.
I think he did. I think his last game was, sorry, game 4 was good. Game 5, obviously.
Was
Just
everybody.
nobody on the
Everyone was
ice.
terrible.
But yeah,
Somehow we almost, sorry, Dan. Somehow he played 11 minutes in game 5 with 13 shifts. But in game 4, he played 13 minutes and 21 shifts.
wow.
Overtime?
Some extended.
But still, like, how do you
Yeah, you're
have-
not getting that many overtime shifts, but
But even like a 2-minute gap, and that's a 8 shift gap. That seems weird.
Just 1 3-minute shift in there and everything's all wacky.
Must have.
Nurse had a couple of 2-minute shifts in game 5.
Need a bit more from Daryl.
tough to get off the
He
ice.
leads the team in pucks iced.
What a
And I know sometimes that's on the winger.
Yeah, I don't know. This team is okay with making these 175-foot passes. I have been losing my mind about it since like Christmas, and they haven't changed. And it's only like upping right now. That makes no sense to me. You've got 2 or 3 guys deep forechecking for Florida. Have a couple quick short passes, and now you're behind them, and you're coming down the puck or coming down the ice with a 3-on-2 or something like that. Like it's this passing from the goal line and hoping it's someone outside the center ice line is going to pick it up.
It's terrible.
It's
Why?
not there, man.
Or they're using it as like a mechanism to dump it in, which if you're at the end of the shift, sure. But there's too many times where they're doing that and then they're flat footed and no one can go chase.
Yeah.
It's very annoying.
Yeah, it's extremely annoying.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you. That has been very, very annoying.
Something I had a question about, sorry, not to divert completely, but talking about linesmen, linesmen and the face-offs. Has there been a real like deep dive as to what the hell's going on there?
No, because I don't think anyone knows what the rules are or what's happening.
Because like there's been they've shown video of Draisaitl being told by the referees to talk to the linesman and figure out what the hell is going on, but nobody has actually figured it out, eh?
No, because nobody does anything about anybody in stripes once the 60 minutes is over. We'll sit there and go, oh, this play, that play, you know, this ref, that ref, they missed this call, that call. But once the game is over, they kind of just sweep it away.
Yeah.
So the NHL is just walking, going, please, I hope. But you just drop the puck.
Drop
Drop the puck. And like,
bizarre.
and it is extremely frustrating. I have never seen any sport, and I know the face-off drop is different pretty much than anywhere else, that you really can't have that. But the official just keep bang, and it's almost like every time we win the face-off, that's when it gets whistled down. They win it.
Thrown out.
Yeah.
It's just, and you're like, you've got to be kidding me. And Leon, I don't know what you did to all these linesmen, but they hate you.
It's almost
Like they're
like
almost faking them out and kicking them out. Right.
That's
away.
what I was thinking. Is it like is he cheating so much that like is he hitting it out of midair or something? Like
So
No, because sometimes it's not even the puck drop.
yeah. So my theory on real life, and I think I've said it on the show before, is that on the power plays or when Connor's on the ice, he does cheat a lot.
Because he knows the other backup.
Because he knows he has Connor as his backup. And if they don't catch him cheating, he snaps it back and it's a 1 draw. If not, what's the percentage drop between him and Connor? Not as high as you'd probably think. I know Leon is better, but like it's not crazy. So I do think if Connor's on the ice, he cheats more often than not. Also, and this was the thing too with Nuge not taking a lot of draws. If Andrew Kane takes it, he was taking some draws the last couple of games too. So
Wrist injury.
yeah, I think there's a little bit
Like
of that.
the face-off percentage right now is so far in Florida's favor. At least what it feels like. I don't know what the actual number is right now, but it feels like Florida wins 70% of the face-offs. And it's extremely frustrating.
Wow.
And now you're playing catch-up every time.
and that's part of their strategy, right? Because they force us to take the face-offs on the left dot because we don't have a right-handed centerman. Derek Ryan, come on back.
No.
Just joking.
And I don't know why it's that hard to win it on your forehand, because you got to use a lot of your body to sweep the stick of the other centerman out of the way. You can almost rotate your body to block him out.
But
Like, I get it. He's just pulling back, but you have to like not even go for the puck. They drop the puck and your first goal should be lifting his stick up.
Yeah.
And twisting your body, so now you're in front of him. He's behind you. It's him, you, and the puck on the face-off dot still, and they don't seem to do that at all.
If you had to guess, what do you think the face-off stats are in this series?
I'm gonna go 72% Florida.
I'm going to say 67% Florida.
51.
Or sorry, 57% Florida.
51, 49.
yeah, 52%.
Yeah.
Really? 52.7 to 47.3.
Which is a lot.
Oilers on the power play are 56.8, which surprised me.
Because yeah, like I've watched during the game, and I thought it was way worse than that.
But 2 percentage points is not nothing. Like it's usually 50%.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. That's 2%. That's 6-7 face-offs in this whole series.
That's huge. Huge.
That's
Tyler.
why I don't love face-off percentage, because like you're right. If one team's dominating, you'd think it's like, but it's like, it's 52%.
Perception, yeah.
There's been 368
Can you
face-offs.
break them down?
Yeah, well, he did. And like,
No. Can you break it down to how many offensive zone? What's our offensive zone face-off percentage?
O zone were 47. O zone were 47.8. D zone were 47.1.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, huge difference.
Neutral zone, left, right side.
Neutral zone is 46.9. They don't break it down to right and left.
So our power play numbers are really bolstering our percentages there.
The Oilers have actually, this is surprising considering how the series has gone. Oilers have taken 136 O zone draws and only 119 in the D zone. Part of that is Stu and Pickard both hate covering the puck.
Yeah, that
sometimes to a fault. There was one point in game 4 after an icing where Stu had it and was like, nope, and played it off. And it was like, dude, we just iced the puck.
Just cover it.
Cover it up. We need the whistle.
Yes.
We'll take the 47.3% chance.
Like the puck will just barely be sliding through the crease, and they'll just watch it.
Those 6
and
face-offs.
And I will have a mini heart attack as the puck goes through the blue.
Every time.
Those 6 face-offs matter to Stu and Pickard.
Do you think that, I saw a lot of people talking about this, that Pickard is that much of a better puck playing goalie than Stuart Skinner?
No.
So he's
I
not.
think Skinner's been really solid.
So
playing
do
the
I.
puck.
Very, very good. I saw someone make the point of Pickard's not better, but because of that and because of Pickard's self-awareness being like, I'm not good at this, he's simple about it.
Yeah.
picks
And
his
that's
spots.
more predictable for the players and the D-men. It's like, we know this guy's not doing anything crazy. We know he's either rimming it or leaving it.
He's like a traditional goalie and trustworthy.
But again, do
stalwart
you
versus-
hear anybody in the defensive zone communicating when someone's going back, whether it's been the goaltender or the first defenseman going back there and he's got his back to the play because he's got to go retrieve the puck? Do you hear anybody out there yelling this way, that way, something?
I've only ever
nothing.
heard
It's
Stu say
fucking quiet.
wheel. That's the one that our goalies
That's
love
what goalies
saying.
should be doing. When the puck comes, the goalie should be telling the defenseman as they're coming in here which way to go, where someone is going to be. And now Florida's starting to pick it off that if we pick up the puck and go one way around the boards, they have one guy trailing because they know we're going to drop it or fire it back around the other side, and he's waiting there. We're almost too predictable on how we move the puck out of our own zone.
Yeah.
And you got to start moving up the middle at this point now because of it.
The Oilers
I'm
have
getting
won
sad.
or tied the face-off battle in 2 games. When they lost 6-1 and when they won. So both games in Florida.
Interesting.
There you go.
Because the ice is better.
Yeah. All right, let's
rough
move
or
along, boys. Let's
crazy.
talk a little betting for our friends at Bet365, an official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Game props, player props, totals, and money line, whatever your bet. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. Must be 19 or older. Bet365, an official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Gentlemen, Oilers are dogs, and the line's been moving. They opened it, I think, 120. They're now plus 135.
Oh, boy.
Money line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take it. Move on.
They were, for reference, I think both teams were minus 110 going into game 5.
The Oilers in each of their last 2 game 6s where they've been facing elimination have won 5-1. If you think the Oilers can cover the puck line again, it is plus 275. If you think the Edmonton Oilers can just win this game in regulation, where's reg? Plus 220 in regulation.
Damn.
Just win the game.
We talked about Connor McDavid before.
Yep.
So here are his career numbers in game 6s.
Okay.
Going back to 2017. 1 goal against San Jose. No points against Anaheim. 3 points against LA. 2 points against LA. 1 goal against Vegas. 3 assists versus Vancouver. 2 points against Dallas. No points against Florida in game 6, last year. And 1 point against LA this year in game 6.
So a bit of a mixed bag.
Bit of a mixed bag.
Okay. Dan, did you find anything you like?
For tonight, I just found Matthias Janmark, who I really believe is going to play a role. He's plus 1,100 to score.
You're a madman.
I know.
Man.
I still have Matthias Janmark to score 2 goals.
I
in
would
the
take like a
Stanley Cup
Nurse or Wallman before that. I still got Kapanen to score 2, so I'm with you in the bad bet circle. I like, if you want one that's just like agnostic of winner or result, really, Marchand and Perry each to get 3 shots. As much as I hate putting anything positive Panthers in,
The Rat Special.
the Rat Specials plus 650, and that bet, Marchand's hit that in 4 or 5 games. Or sorry, Marchand's hit it in 3 of 5. Perry's hit it in 4 or 5. So that bet's cashed in 4 or 5 games in the series, or 3 or 5 games in the series.
That's a smart money bet. That's
Plus
a bad
650.
heart bet.
I know. Rick, what do you like for this one?
Well, I'm going to start looking at a little shots on goal ladder.
For who?
Number 2.
Oosh. I don't hate it.
And I would honestly,
What's his highest shot total that they give you?
10 shots
Wow.
plus 3,300.
Wow.
Did I
I'm
tell
not
you?
saying go that high,
No.
but I would certainly do like
Somewhere in there.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Here are Bush's shot totals game by game, starting in game 1. 7, 8, 9, 3, 3. So, I mean, even if you want to you could probably start that ladder with a pretty big bet on number 3, which granted is minus 240. But then as you go, like 4 shots already jumps you to plus 115. 5 shots is plus 260. 6 shots plus 625. 7 shots plus 1,000. I'll draw the line at 7.
Your
but
eyes are not great. That's
Fine.
plus 525. And it's minus 240 to start.
I said that.
You said 340 and then 625.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Tyler.
that'll happen.
Eyes failed.
I found
Nice,
Draisaitl's
though.
numbers in
All good.
game 6s.
Okay.
1 goal San Jose, 5 points Anaheim, 1 point Kings, 1 goal Kings, no points Vegas, 2 assists Vancouver, 1 assist Dallas, 1 assist Florida, no points King.
What is our record over those game 6s for the record? Even though we may have said
They've
it,
lost one.
4-1.
The Vegas was the only one they've lost. Actually,
No, more than that.
in their entire time as Oilers, when they've gone to a game 6, they've only lost once, and it was Vegas.
Yeah, they're 4-1 when facing elimination in game 6s, and then however much more when in all scenarios when it's a game 6 or when they have a chance to bounce the other team.
and we know game 4 to 7 Stu can do.
And we know Stu off rest, and we know Stu late in series. We know Stu against elimination has basically never let the Oilers down.
Yep.
I told you, like storybook ending is doing this. However many blocks that away.
Probably about
Just
4.
got to win first. Got to win first. Got to win tonight
Got
first.
to win tonight. Jay said win, like same thing he said last year before game 5 down in Florida, the original drag him back to Alberta game. Win tonight. Crowd's got you for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you win tonight, the crowd's got you in game 7. That gives me
You just need
chills.
to show up.
Okay, and I
yeah.
really want us to do something, to do some of this mind game stuff, because if you paid attention today,
Yeah.
Verhaeghe was on the ice that we were supposed to be practicing on. We couldn't go out early because he was out there, and then he leaves and they try and flood the ice to push us back even further.
Not push
Win
us
it.
back further, prevent us from getting on earlier.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever. Win tonight, and
Yeah, you don't.
let's go paint their dressing room tomorrow.
Yeah.
You
dude.
don't
No,
wanna
wait,
stop-
Thursday.
You don't want to start the fire, but
Yes.
you can extend the fire. Expose. What do you say?
Do something.
Yeah, like
make
you
it
don't
make
wanna
it
be
not
the-
pleasurable to be here.
Exacerbate
Yeah, like
the
you don't
fire.
want to be the team that like starts the whole thing.
But you can add some gasoline.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm saying.
I don't care what the weather's like at noon on Friday. I want a loud ass concert out there because we already know that will come out whatever fucking game it was.
Oh,
It's time to play some mind games.
Yep.
It's time to make it not very fun to come here and play. The fans already do it as loud, and it's not going to be fun in there. But the organization needs to get a little swagger amongst themselves and start doing some shit. Call Glenn Sather and see what he was doing back in the 80s, because he was doing this shit too.
Yeah.
All right. I got a Connor and Leon to wrap up our betting segment. Connor and Leon to carry the boys to victory tonight. Each to get a goal and an assist. Oilers win plus 1,200.
Let's go.
lovely.
It's not bad, boys. That is
value.
not bad, boys. What's that? Oh, that's so juicy. That's so juicy. I just might do it. Shout out to our friends at Bet365. Let's wrap up the show here for our friends at Odd Company Brewing and the Nation Beer Everyday Lager, a crisp, clean lager crafted not just for game day, but for every day. Find one at liquorconnect.com by searching for Odd Company Nation Beer and finding a liquor store near you, or go to one of their 2 locations in the Edmonton area, the Ritchie location or the downtown location. Liam, would you like to bring up the rumor that bothered you earlier today?
Again.
Yep.
God damn it. This rumor sucks. From Dave Pagnota, our friend from Florida, who lives in Toronto. Edmonton, Toronto, and Detroit are among the teams that will look at signing Aaron Ekblad if he hits free agency this summer. Doesn't that suck?
To play where?
Defense, I believe.
Where? Would he be our
So
fourth left defenseman?
here is the
Toronto will outpay you for
Detroit will
or
outpay
Detroit
him.
will pay from. So like the only way, first off, if you're going to go to 7.5 for Ekblad, just go get Gavrikov.
Yes.
Better
I-
player.
Did that not say for less than?
Rick's out.
Florida wants him at less than.
Florida wants him. Yeah. That's
So,
a different-
Toronto will pay.
Next year, the Oilers have Nurse at 9.2, Ekholm at 6, Wallman at 3.4, Kulak at 2.75, Emberson at 1.3, Stetcher at 780K, and Bouchard at whatever Bouchard ends up coming in at. The only way I can see this making the tiniest ounce of sense, and this is not me saying I want Aaron Ekblad. I do not. I think he's going to get overpaid.
Terrible.
I don't think he's a good defenseman. If there's something to the idea that Ekholm needs LTIR.
Which I wouldn't be surprised at. He's not been himself. He's also
Yeah, but you
35.
can't assume that he's going to need. I mean, what month is it right? Like, how long is your LT? You would almost need to be out all year.
What if he is?
What if he is?
How can he be playing right now
What if it
to a
just gets
decent
worse?
Because
level?
it's the cup.
That happens all the time.
Evander Kane, bro.
Because it's the cup.
Eric
Yeah,
Carlson, I know he didn't sit out the year, but like he was out a large chunk of the year after Ottawa went to the conference.
But I feel like, I mean, Kane missed time in the final.
Missed the last 2 games.
Yeah.
3 games, whatever.
Ekholm hasn't really been. I know we've seen Ekholm better than he's been right now. But I mean, we can say it about a couple other players. I just don't see how, if there's something ailing him right now, that it needs all of the season to be ready to go.
Well, that's
That's
the,
great.
I think
Especially because
okay, well, how about this?
here's a rumor
hypothetical?
you're not going to like, because I think the Oilers might get in a little bit of trouble when it comes to when the season's over, when it comes to the Kane
Oh, wow. What happened?
Yeah. Let's end that there. We're not dampening the mood
What
on
if
game day.
Ekholm retires?
He has one more year left?
He has one more year left.
They
you
win
wanna-
the cup,
you
he
wanna-
might.
They win, he might, yeah.
Yep.
He's not been himself this season. I don't care what people say.
No,
And
100% he hasn't.
if you're
Yes.
35 going into your 36-year-old season with a ring and you think you have 8 months of rehab ahead of you, you might just be like, that's a hell of a way to end her.
Yeah.
On my own terms. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We don't
Cross that bridge when we
I
get
hope
there.
he
But
doesn't, because I love Ekholm.
Me too.
And if it was to sign Ekholm,
Also,
I would be
is
pissed.
that maybe why the Oilers went and got a young lefty and Jake Wallman? Plot thickens. What do you guys think of the way the blue line's lining up tonight? They're going back to Kulak and Nurse. They're going back to Ekholm and Bush, and then they're keeping Klingberg and Wallman as the third pair. They obviously have some familiarity from earlier in the playoffs and this round.
it is what it is. We've seen it work. We've seen it not work. I think it's one game in order to play the last game, winner take all. You put your quote unquote best players out there. And I do think Klingberg's a little bit better than a Stetcher. You put your best players out there and see whatever happens.
I thought Stetcher was going to make Nurse better. So I think that this is the only move that they have left.
And they just didn't play him.
Yeah.
He just struggled.
Yep.
I think this is a good idea.
Yep.
Because
I thought the change was smart. I thought this was smart.
yeah.
And
And to freshen guys up a little.
And he moves the puck well. He hasn't been terrible
And
skating.
he hates dumping it in. So
He's confident,
puck
yeah.
possession team.
Good, because we need the fucking
It could
puck.
burn you, but puck possession team.
Whatever. You've got nothing to lose right now.
Yep.
You have everything to lose.
Well, you got everything to gain too.
Oh, that is wow.
Poetic, Rick.
You do?
Poetic.
Everything to lose, but everything to gain.
It's going to be fine, Tyler. It's going to be
I
fine.
know this is just so difficult.
You think this show's difficult? Wait till Fridays. Do we have a show the day of? No.
Yeah.
We do. It'll be Friday on radio.
But last year Game 7 was a Monday, so we
We missed
had-
every game last
we might have had 2 games between our last show.
Yeah. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yep.
It might have been Saturday, Monday.
Yeah,
I don't
it was.
remember. I mean, you guys were flying,
Friday,
so you might
Monday.
remember. I don't know.
Have a look. I'll let you know,
It
Rick.
was Friday, Monday.
But yeah, no, it's like I said. If
We get
If the
game
team-
day shows.
I think every player on this team would have signed up, say, "Hey, win one road game, and you got a Game 7 at home to win the cup."
It was Friday, Monday.
There was a Friday was the game 6 last year.
Yeah, I know Monday was 7.
What an
so-
electric one that was. 7:27 in, Warren Fogle. Second period, 46 seconds in, Adam Henrique. Zach Hyman at the end of the second period to make it 3-0. Florida got one early. It was 3-1, but 2 empty netters from McLeod and Nurse. Skinner goes 20 of 21, and the series went back to Florida.
Wasn't it his first goal on a goalie that playoff?
Honestly, maybe.
I think I remember that. Or maybe he got one the game before or something stupid like that. But
One of those new fancy stats
Well, no,
that
remember,
just
because he
popped
got
up.
kicked out of a game earlier on, too.
that's right. That was I think that was game 2. Oh, what a player Warren was for us.
Yeah, it was game 2 because they scored on that power
He
play. I
scored the
think.
first game of the playoffs against LA, which I'm pretty sure was an empty
That was an
netter.
empty net.
So in other words, we need our depth guys to step up tonight.
Yeah, they scored in game 1.
Nah, it's
Game
Connor and
3.
Leon tonight, Rick.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's Connor and Leon tonight. That's all we need. If those two are humming and dialed, game over. Simple as that.
Or if the depth is humming and dialed, like they were in that game 6 last year.
Yep, sure. Absolutely.
We need the entire team to be at their best.
I just think like even if the depth is good and the depth scores them 3 goals, it's not a guarantee you win. If
100%.
Connor and Leon are rolling and the depth's good, you're getting 4 or 5, you're winning this hockey game.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yep. Anything else you guys are looking for tonight before we wrap up? Tight episode of the pod because it's a tight
Just a
window
big
of time.
fat W.
Can't wait to
It's
hear
the only thing I care about.
Pink Pony Club
Don't care about anything. Just give me a big fat W.
and La Bamba. 2 more times.
Liam's wearing his lucky game 7 outfit from the first playoff run.
I wanted to point out
That's why he was saying he
that
had
the
to be
Oilers are
nobody.
1-0 every time Liam puts on full gear.
The hockey gear. No, I drove my truck today. I was going to say hockey gear's still in the back of my car, actually.
It's
Just
okay. They're
saying.
2-0 when I watch alone, and that's my plan tonight.
Just you and a couple bananas.
A couple of bananas, my blankie, my 2017 Draisaitl jersey.
If you're looking for something to do tonight, head on down to Greta. Boardsy's there, pre and post game live from the bar. Tons of giveaways, tons of specials, beer specials, half price wings on every game day as well. The TV setup is elite. The location is elite. The patio is elite. It is going to be a great time tonight at Greta as the Oilers will look to push this thing to a 7th game. Giddy up, boys. Giddy up. Giddy up. Friday show could be one of our best ever.
Oh,
And then what do we do Saturday? We're not getting that far ahead of ourselves. Let's drag them back to Alberta and force 7. Shout out to our friends at Odd Company Brewing, Nation Beer, Everyday Lager, Oodle Noodle, and Bet365. Thank you for tuning in. That's a wrap on a Tuesday edition of Oilers Nation Radio. We'll see you all right back here on Friday. Maybe another game day.